Where have you been? You're late. Really, really late. Not good at first impressions, are you? I was beginning to think that you weren't going to show up. That would have been interesting. Are you surprised that I'm still here? Thought I would have just walked away by now. I had considered it, but then I thought, hey, why not stay? Maybe the guy really needs my help. And from the look of you, that is definitely the case. But don't look insulted. And don't rattle me either. It wouldn't be a very wise thing to do. You made me wait longer than I would have normally stood for. So think of this as more of a kindness than a business transaction. As much as I hate admitting this, business has been a little slow these past few weeks, and I've lost all the rush that I once had. Makes no sense to be running around night after night, waiting for people that may or may not come, to do deals that in the end they're never happy with. And at the risk of getting caught each night, there's just no fun in it anymore. I think this will be my last deal. So you're lucky. You may get a bargain. So, how much do you know about what I'm carrying? Do you know where it's from? Oh yes, good deduction, genius. It is stolen. You can't buy Ark equipment from the high street now, can you? That would be insane. And bad for business. How much do you know about Ark tech? Do you know what model this is? This is an MX-80. It's not as new or as shiny as those NT5 models that they're using now, but they do the work. You'll see. Plus, the arcs that are still attached aren't as glamorous or as detailed as those in the NT5, but our mutual friend says that he's already told you that. You said that you weren't interested in anything big or epic this time round. If you wanted small, then you're in luck. Small's all I've got. Don't expect any free passes. Those are all gone. No one gets a free pass Arc in 2047 anymore. It's delusional. And even if there were some left, do you really think that you could afford one? No. So stop clutching, and let's do some business. So, how much you got? Gotta get you something at least. It won't be much, but hey, it's something. Let's see. 50 credits gives you the option of 1 of 15 small arcs lasting around 2 months on average, or just 2 larger arcs lasting around a week. I would, for what my opinion is worth, go for a longer option. That way, you'll have the chance to earn more credits and get something better next time. So you're not walking away empty-handed, you see. No, it's not about repeat business. I find that almost offensive. I'm just thinking about what you have and what you want. Which, by the way, are 2 very different things. You seem like the kind of person that is constantly unhappy with what they have. So either way today is going to be something of a disappointment. Look, before we start, I need to know if you still want to go through with this. That I'm not going to be wasting my time. If you don't want this, tell me now. You still want to? Good. Now shut up and hear what I've got. Only speak up if any of these interest you. And I'll give you a more detailed description. 1. A quest for identity. 2. The accidental hero. 3. Be careful what you wish for. 4. The chase. 5. Cutting the knot. 6. Failed audition. Or 7. Going native. What? None of these even remotely interest you. Come on, I mean, Jesus. These are the trends. These are what you people like. I'm sorry if you feel as though none of these are you. But these are the times, and this is what sells. You know, it wasn't always like this. This diverse. This simple. This easy. You got what you got. End of. But look at it. Look at you. Clamoring for something new. Look what the guides have done to people. People being brought up on TV and film so much, they believe that their lives, / expect that their lives, will go in the same way as those shows. You people expect arcs in your life. And you aren't happy if there aren't any. Yeah, I know. I'm not any different. But I don't lie to myself every night, thinking that I'll go from being some lonely loser to a millionaire after a few chance encounters, or meet some girl, fall out of love, and then find the real perfect girl of your dreams. This kind of delusional thinking is a result of a world of unhappy people, ungrateful, unhappy people that have consumed way too much fiction. I understand the appeal of arcs, I do. That they make life easier to digest. That it provides you with some structure and some certainty in the things going on. Don't want to be left in the dark. You all find it comforting somehow, which is great. Being comfortable. But this is all at the same time being controlled. Literally controlled. Losing everything that you are just so you have some road to walk. An A to a B. Let me ask you something. Why are you here then? Our friend didn't give me much info on you before our meet. For a moment, I thought you might have been one of them, looking for sellers like me to arrest. But the second that I saw you, I knew you weren't one of them. So tell me, who are you? And why do you want an arc so badly? Let me get this straight. You had an arc before. A popular arc. What was it? Hidden Talent 2044. Really? Wait, I thought you were contrarian. Thought you hated the trends. So why'd you go and pick one of the most popular arcs of the last 3 years? It's embarrassing. Oh, you were different back then. Well, that explains it. Well, I guess it didn't work out, or else I might have heard of you. Were you disappointed? Obviously. Well, it was a poor choice and a poor arc, so get over yourself and live with your poor decisions. Yes, I like to rant. Think of it as a teaching tool. What was exciting about forcing the guide to search through a life like yours in order to find the smallest thing to gloat about? What did you think it would do? Rocket you to instant fame? Now that you had a chance? That, mate, is some really old-fashioned early 2000s reality TV talent show garbage. And you should have been ashamed for ever thinking about it. Thinking that the Ark or guide was ever going to get you anywhere was a fantasy, a distraction from knowing how similar you are to everyone else. Arcs now keep people complacent until you find yourself being slowly lowered into the ground. Most people should have thrown their money in there as well for all the good it did. Rant over. You're welcome. What was it that you'd learned from that experience? Not much? What a surprise. It's better to knock that thinking out of you early, I feel, before it's too late to turn back. Look, I know you're looking for something cheap because you're desperate, but just because you've come here with the idea that I can save you, doesn't mean that I can, because I can't. So, let me give you a little history lesson. When the Ark was new, when it wasn't the overloading, life-controlling system that it is today, it used to be used as a guidance tool, something useful, something to help organize your life if you felt overwhelmed by it. I had a friend going way back. He came to me when he was in a bad place. He told me he had lost everything, that his wife and kids had picked up and left, that he was low and couldn't bring himself up from the dirt. He begged me to help him, begged me to give him direction, give him something to do, to help him forget about what was happening to him. He was a big fan of movies, loved them. There was his one film, his favorite, called Into the Night. I spent a few weeks creating a guide for him that replicated the movie. Something familiar that he could just get up from his bed and get him out into the world. And for a while it worked. He played out a similar play-by-play of that movie, and it looked like he was going to be okay. What I didn't know was that he was already hooked. He wanted more than just the movie. He wanted more escapism than that. He asked me to make him something longer, something that he could properly lose himself in. At the time, Into the Night was just a few days long, and he had just repeated the story over and over until he wasn't getting that fix anymore. He wanted something that lasted months, maybe even years. I originally didn't want to, but I felt bad for the guy. So I did just that. I created him the first ever arc. He wanted me to borrow the story details from that biopic, My Wandering Mind. I thought that he would enjoy it, but I had never watched the movie myself. I had just uploaded the script and made a few alterations. That was my mistake. At the end of My Wandering Mind, the main character goes from being a nobody to one of the top athletes in his country, before falling in love and giving it all up for a chance at happiness. Soppy, but I can understand the appeal. My friend, well, he wasn't the healthiest of guys, let me just say that. And what the story asked of him, the exercise, it took its toll on his heart. He wanted that perfect ending, and had a heart attack from the excessive exercise instead. He's dead now, and it was my fault, my mistake. As you can expect, word got out about the My Wandering Mind arc, and instead of running away, it blew up in popularity. Everyone wanted an arc. They wanted every kind of arc. 1 minute arcs, 1 hour arcs, 1 day, 1 month, 10 months, 10-year arcs. They were relentless. I chose to not get involved. I backed away and let the world do whatever the hell it wanted. But I never forgot my friend. I still think about him every day. You see, arcs were designed by people. They're not omniscient, they're human and flawed. You can't expect things to play out the way you want them to, no matter how well it's written. Things just go off course. You have some questions, I can tell. I know what you're wondering. Why am I still here, selling arcs? After that additional bonus rent, you thought I'd pack up and move on. Well, that's the thing. I kinda have, but kinda haven't. Look at your face. You have no idea. Okay, well, let me simplify. Ever since that incident, I didn't want anyone else to become like my friend. Those that got too close, those that went too far. Your friend helps me pick out those that would end up damaged or dead from arcs, and sends them my way. I would advertise to those looking for cheap and easy arcs, and then I would meet with them, alone, like we are now. After starting up a conversation, I would tell them my stories, my failing business, the dangers of arc addiction, and then I would judge whether or not I could save them by convincing them to never use the system again. If they were too far gone, I would lock them out. They wouldn't believe me at first, but they remember that I have them connected to my MX-80. That even if you ran, you wouldn't be able to escape. So just listen. Let me tell you what's going to happen next. And don't try to run. As soon as this is done, you will be locked out. You won't be able to lock back into the guide. You would be out for good, with no virtual crutch and no arcs. You will have to rely on giving yourself direction and bringing yourself happiness and meaning. It's freeing, really. And you will feel it once the shock is worn off, of course. Why? It is because of your stupid decisions and need for an arc. Like you've explained, you say that you couldn't live without one, that it needed direction. I have determined that you are beyond saving with just talk, that action is required. You honestly don't believe that another arc would have made all the difference, do you? That with one click and fingers crossed, that your life would have been changed forever? No. You wouldn't be happy. It's very clear to me. Additionally, you could never afford this kind of lifestyle. What I do because I want to save you. I want you to define your own life, your own arc. Now, stay where you are. You need to update your file, and I'm not chasing after you. I'm going to free you now, and in the end, we're both going to look back at this and know what I did was right. And done. I'll be seeing you around, kid. Enjoy the blind.